Hey everyone, welcome to Teachers Love You Do PD live webinars for teachers only. This is our second attempt, but so sorry. We planned to go live on different by using different link. Anyway, we could make it, and I can't wait to invite incredible Esther Galo, who is going to share about building positive culture experience on campus. Esther, hola,
Hola,
bienvenida. I can hear you. I can
muchas
see your
gracias.
face. Everything is gonna be
Yay!
fun and fine. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. So I'm so sorry we have this delay. So I know that we're a bit rushed on time, and it's Saturday, probably because of Saturday situation.
Yeah,
Things get
and
really
it's
crazy.
technology. You just never know what you're gonna get with technology.
That's so true. And,
Yeah.
please do share from which part of the world you're tuning from. Again, today, Esther, incredible and inspiring Esther, she's sharing about building positive culture experience on campus. And right now, I can't wait to introduce you, Esther, but you can do it on your own. Just the most important facts about you that you would love to share with our beautiful viewers.
Thank you so much, Hannah. I really do appreciate it. It's an honor for me being here, part of your community, and being invited by you to talk about a
Oh, you're
topic that I'm
amazing.
very passionate about. And well, I'm here in Houston, Texas, which is quite a difference of time between here and Russia. So I'm so excited to be able to talk to so many great people like you around the world and connect. I am a high school public Spanish teacher or public high school Spanish teacher in Houston, Texas. I teach Spanish, and this is my 17th year. I
Oh my
teach
God.
the upper levels IB Spanish and the AP Spanish courses.
Wow. And I know that you're passionate about sharing, learning, collaborating, all things Spanish and classroom ideas. And life in, I love this phrase, live in and out of the classroom.
Oh, yeah.
And
Well,
one,
I.
sorry,
Mhm.
sorry. Yeah, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was just going to say, our lives as teachers, doesn't stop in the classroom. It just always continues outside. And it's just like trying to find that balance as well. It's hard to find it, but it's a wonderful, rewarding job. And I am so happy that I am able to learn from my students as well as they learning from me, them learning.
Yes. So true. And, I love this. Again, this phrase, this is from your website. That's okay. Today we're sharing Wakelet Resource Collection with you. So if you watch us on LinkedIn, Facebook Live, please do join in on YouTube. So there is a great live chat where you can share everything about you. What is your role in education? And you can grab the link to Wakelet Resource Collection. Today, Esther, she's sharing with your presentation. It's so beautiful. I've seen it. So,
Oh,
and this phrase, Esther, bienvenidos, mi clase es tu clase.
see,
Oh,
see,
it's
we have to welcome our students, with arms wide open because it's such a tough world to live in right now. And if your students feel loved and welcome, just like in your community, then it just makes things so much smoother and better for everyone.
I can't wait to make this. We just have started. And the question, because we just a little bit, covered this, you just a little bit covered this. The question that I'm most passionate about is like what inclusive education, what does it mean to you, like from your personal, experience and background? So what does it mean to you?
Inclusive education for me is so important because I really, really love to make sure that, or really challenge myself in making sure that students have a sense of belonging and feel safe.
Yes.
And I really try my best now that I'm in a kind of a new campus. This is my third campus that I've worked in at as a teacher, and this is my fourth year there. And one of the things that I'm truly passionate about, which I'm going to talk about, is having clubs. And so that creates that sense of, belonging, security, and that pride. Specifically, I'm a Spanish teacher, so a lot of my students, even though it's a diverse campus, very diverse campus, a lot of my students that join the club are Latino descent, and sometimes minority groups, can feel kind of not belonging somewhere. So when they
Yes.
start to join, they feel like, wow, this is really great. I can not even just for my Latino Hispanic students, but also, for anyone that wants to learn more about the culture, the language. This is a club that's welcoming for all students.
Oh my gosh, the power of club is like yes, because my organization that I made for students as a language teacher, English Club Community, where and my students they remember the most our Sunday clubs where we grabbed like
Mm.
some snacks, we talked on English only. It was like the best atmosphere that they remembered, from our lessons, and they always share about that English clubs. It's like on
It's
Sundays.
funny you say that, Anna. It's funny you say that because I was just telling my students this week, the more involved you are, like those are the memories that stay with you. When you graduate high school, you forget about everything. You forget about your classes, but the one thing that sticks in your mind are those wonderful memories, events, clubs, things that
Yes.
made you feel good. Yeah.
Yes, yes, absolutely. This is signing in. So true. And some more highlights about you. These are your sayings that I truly love. Like I want to highlight them. It's okay to be flexible. What did you mean by that?
It's okay to have a lesson in mind and all of a sudden things don't go as planned
Oh
because that
yeah.
happens all the time in teaching. So you learn and you grow from it and you accept that and it's okay. It's okay if things don't always go as planned because as teachers, we have to prepare for, the good and the bad. Regardless, we're learning all the time.
Oh my God. And okay, the next one. Don't sweat the small stuff. This one is like
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, we get upset. Sometimes our lovely students can have, things happen and there's a
yeah.
misunderstanding. And so you really, or even with another teacher, you're at school and something happened or misunderstanding, whatever that is, and you just can't dwell on that. In my opinion, you just have to let things go, start new, start fresh the day, and just keep it going.
Wow. Do what you can when you can. That's saying, right? So
Yeah,
just
because
take your time.
sometimes, well, right now in my district, there's a lot going on. And so if you can't reach all your goals, whatever it is that you're trying to do with your students and accomplish those goals, then you just, take it easy, do the little things as time permits, and just, keep it going as positive as you can with whatever it is that you have, whether it be that you're lacking some resources. Try to, like, do a little bit of research here and there, and just grab what you can, do what you can, and just, keep it moving.
Yes. So the next one like supports the previous one. Find a support system, mentor, colleges, and colleagues and TBFs. Like, yes, that's
Teacher
about.
besties.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
That's
I think
so inspiring.
I was going to say it's so important to have your support system,
Yeah.
whether it be at home, whether it be at school. I mean, myself included, I've had so many wonderful mentors throughout the way, colleagues, teacher besties that make my life so much easier. Shout out to my
Yes.
TBFF, Jennifer Coolman. So, these are people that just make teaching so much easier and fun.
Wow. And the last one, please highlight this. Social media rocks. What does it mean? Like,
Before I became or started the teacher Instagram,
and it's great. It looks great. So I've
oh,
added to the
thank you.
resource collection.
Well, a lot of profes inspired me. One of those profes are Berta Delgadillo, which is, she goes by Profe Delgadillo, and also Claudia Elliott. There's so many more wonderful teachers. And before the pandemic, I wasn't really into social media as, when I entered that world, and it just opened my eyes. And I
Oh
was
my.
desperate too, because I was like, how am I going to teach online classes? I don't know how to do this. And
Yes.
so, it opened up my eyes to learning. I mean, you don't just have, your school and other schools that you could go and observe, you have teachers online that are truly passionate and, teach you so many wonderful things that you can bring to your classroom right away. So social media, in my opinion, yes, it has its cons, but it has, in my opinion, way more pros than cons.
Wow, perfecto. Mil gracias. Yay. That was brilliant. Thank you,
Thank
Esther. Muchísimas gracias. And, I think we can dive in because you prepared something incredible. So, please do share because there's like, combination of PBL, ESL, EF, like so many things that I'm most passionate about, by the way, collaborations, sharing, and we can't wait to
Oh,
learn from you. Yeah, so
thank
let's
you.
dive in.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Yay. So I'm going, if you've got any questions, just drop them in the Q&A box on YouTube and our live chat. Actually, if you're watching us on Facebook, you can do the same. And I'm sure you will grab your highlights and don't forget to post them on Instagram because Esther, you're most like energetic and more passionate about Instagram, social media. So don't forget to tag Esther, me, and use the hashtag Teachers Love You. So grab your highlights and keep sharing.
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay. So should I share my screen now?
Yeah, sure, sure, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we are
Okay.
ready.
I'm gonna share my Canvas presentation, which
Which is super beautiful. Yeah.
oh, thank you. And for some reason, it's not showing up like it did before. So I don't know. Hold on one second.
Okay, let's
Um,
try, or I can do that probably from my side, but just in case, just saying, just in
okay,
case.
because it's not showing up as a window. It's not showing
Any
up.
any way it works. So for you, like,
What I can do the entire screen,
sure, sure,
just because
or
it's
the
not
tab.
showing. Yeah, there we
Okay,
go. So I'm
sure.
showing, there we go.
Yeah,
Can we
it's
see?
here. Yes,
Okay,
yay.
great. So I'm just going to be sharing something that, again, I'm very passionate about. I have been very lucky at every campus that I've worked at. I've worked at four. This is my third campus where I get involved as a sponsor, coordinator, and I'm going to talk about building positive cultural experiences on campus because I currently am a club sponsor. So a little bit about me once again. This is my 22nd year in the same district I graduated from.
Wow.
As I mentioned, this is my 17th year in the classroom, and I currently teach AP Spanish language and IB Spanish SL and HL in a public high school. Um, so from 2011 to 2015, I was a club sponsor for Latin American Club at a campus called Westbury. Then from 2015 to 2020, I became an event committee coordinator, which was a little different. And I actually talk about this in the World Language Teacher Summit that just happened maybe a week ago. And you can learn more about subcommittees and how that works. I'm going to share the link in this PDF towards the end. And then currently at the new campus, this is my fourth year. I started off as an event committee coordinator, and then I'm currently a club sponsor again. And I'm a club sponsor for a club called LSL, which is a combination of three clubs coming into one, joining us one this year. One is Latin Revolution. They focus on dance, cultural dances. The other one is LULAC, which is more of an advocate for the Latino community. And then the other one is called Spanish Club, which is a way for students to come and learn more about the culture and language.
Wow, Esther, it's incredible.
Thank you,
Tú
thank
eres
you.
muy inspirada, muy inspirada.
Uh,
So
muchas
many
gracias.
clubs. Oh my gosh.
Well, it's all a three in one because it was just we had a few sponsors leave from last year. Some teachers left, and so they were left without a sponsor. And
Mhm.
so we decided the students voted whether they wanted to just unite the three clubs in one, or if they wanted to find another sponsor. And they just thought it would be easier for all of us to work as a team. So then the next page I have here is why sponsor, why be a coordinator, or whatever it's called in your school, or an advocate. Every school has their a different name, but one of the four things here that I put here is promoting cultural awareness. So if you're a language teacher of some sort, that brings a lot of knowledge, of different cultures, different languages, and what it entails. It also builds
Mhm.
positive relationships with your students,
Wow.
and community, with parents. And then also it builds, as I mentioned earlier, the inclusion, building a sense of belonging
Oh
and
no,
interest.
that's amazing.
Yeah, so how to get started. So if you teach, brainstorming with your classes on a club starter like idea would be something that I would recommend to start off as with. Maybe having a lunch or after school meeting to discuss ideas and establish a club. Nominating, once you meet with your students and you establish what you want or what you vision for your club, nominating officer candidates that, members can vote. And then officer candidates can also, that are nominated, can talk about why they would be a good president or vice president, or coordinator, or anything else that you want as officers.
Mhm.
And then meeting with officers twice a month, and club members. And I'm sorry, I just saw a misspelled word. once a month to
That's
create
okay.
once a month to create fun events, that are something that would catch an interest, either event that you're going to have your students perform, or maybe an event that just maybe they, for Spanish, they play loteria, and it's
Oh
just like
my,
a learning experience.
amazing.
You let me know, Anna, if there are any
Yeah,
questions,
yeah.
or
Just
if you
hi from Anil. Thanks, Anil, for joining. Yay. Sure.
um, so another thing is, for school events, because we just had our Hispanic Heritage Month event. I am a Spanish teacher, but of course, every world language teacher can emphasize on something different that relates to that language. I focus more on Hispanic Heritage Month, international festivals, Cinco de Mayo. I've been very lucky to work with, school communities to create these events that are so much fun, and it's just memorable for the entire community.
Of course. Yeah.
One thing I do want to emphasize is not to do things alone, because sometimes teachers are scared about having to, prepare an event for their school or the community, and they think, wow, this is going to be a lot of work. And so some teachers feel stuck, sort of like what I was feeling at the beginning when I first started to do this 14 years ago. So, the most important thing is that you're not alone. Don't do this alone. Partner up with teacher friends, teacher besties, your colleagues that you can count on, world language teachers, or maybe you can partner up with the social studies department, and other, of course, club members or clubs in your school. So you don't have to do this all on your own. Of course, you're going to have the support of your students in the club, but also anyone else
Yeah.
that wants to
This
join.
is such a great advice, by the way. Like, perfect.
Oh, thank
Esther,
you.
there's a comment from I don't want to mispronounce the name, your beautiful name. So that's really important, love, that the idea of club officer candidates, teachers, leadership, skills, collaboration. Yeah, so
Yes,
inspiring. Like,
yes, definitely,
exactly.
definitely. I love that. And then the kids feel empowered too, right? That they're
Yeah.
making a difference when you give them those roles of leadership. And my students, I am truly proud of them. I am going to show, because we're talking about that, I'm going to show a quick picture on my screen, of an event that just took place yesterday. And my students, I'm going to show a picture because I'm so proud. I'm a proud mama. So
Yeah.
right
Of
over,
four. You're a mom of four. Just,
I'm a mom of four, but I'm also a mom at school. So I always tell my kids, these are like, you all are my adoptive kids. And as you can see here on the picture, the students fed this faculty and staff
Oh
yesterday with
my.
all these wonderful tamales, breakfast tacos, Mexican pastries. And it was just a way to boost up the morale at school, because right now during this time, right before December, it could be a little stressful for everyone. So our clubs, as you can see, we have 3 clubs in one. The LULAC Spanish Club and Latin
Oh
Revolution all
my.
came together, and with their Hispanic Heritage Month fundraising and other fundraisers they've done, they made this big breakfast for our faculty and staff. So I'm going to go back to the presentation. Got a little
Beautiful.
distracted
Thank you
there.
for a
But
great comment, Bassam. Bassam. Is that
oh
right?
yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. I also want to mention here, remember you were there to guide. So you're more of a facilitator in a club to your students, but your students are doing most of the work. They're the ones leading. They're the ones that you want to prepare or give advice so that they can, take that role of leadership.
Amazing.
Um, so another way that, since I'm talking about mainly, how to create an event, a memorable kind of event, reminding yourself that you can also get your own classes involved. This is the first year actually that all of my students, I have 5 classes, and all of my students danced. So each class, they performed a different dance piece in the Spanish speaking community.
Amazing.
One class modeled traditional Latino or Mexican Bolivian attires. And then all of my classes created different designs to decor the outside of the auditorium. And so I'm going to show that real quick. I actually made it a competition. Students are really good about competitions. So I had my students create designs like this. My first period class, my AP class, they
Oh,
created what is it called? A photo booth. And so this was
wow.
this doesn't even give it justice. It was huge on the wall. This right here, they represented South America, my IB class. And so they created these hand paper flowers for each South American country. So they're like the flower of the country made out of paper. I thought that was so creative.
Reminding. So beautiful.
Yes, and then my other classes, so this was my second period, this was my fifth period class. They created a Spanish or Spanish representation of Spain.
Wow.
So this is their stand-up man with a lot of Spanish info right over here in the flag. And then my third period got super creative too, and they created a map from Central America because that's who they represented, but they also created a dress made out of paper
Wow.
and tape. So this is all paper and tape. They actually created that in teams. So they had like different groups creating different things. And then my last class period, my sixth period class, they created a kind of like a pyramid or representation of Mexico. They have Dia de Muertos and some food, churros and tamales and guitar and a pyramid representing the Aztecs and the indigenous culture, along with the beautiful butterflies, the
Esther,
monarchs.
there's so much love, in these creations. Like, I have no words. That's
Yes, the kids are, I mean, if you give them, like I have a resource that I gave them to create the design. If you give them what they need to be guided, they will blow you away with so much creativity. You just have to believe in them and let them do the work, and just, you're there as a facilitator, but they're the ones that are leading whatever it is that you're wanting to accomplish.
yes.
The other thing is work smarter, not harder. So this goes back to, not feeling like you're alone when you're creating an event, making sure that, you reach out, utilize your campus resources, your fine arts department. They can help with decor, choir. They maybe can have students sing and perform a singing piece, along with theater can help you with an MC. They can also help with the showcase of the event. Your for classes, again, they can help you with declarations and performances. You could give a grade, which I gave my students a grade, but I also had them compete with the design, and other classes voted, like other classes in my school voted to choose the one that they like the best. So they also got extra credit, the winners. The dance teams, if you have dance teams at school, we had our bells perform, which are like our, not our cheerleaders, but like
Oh my.
they're part of the performance piece at school that do other, sports related events, and they performed as well. ROTC did our pledge, and then yearbook and newspaper, they recorded, they took pictures. You can even, if you have a computer kind of CTE department at your campus, you can have them help with creating flyers and tickets, agendas, whatever it is that you need to prepare. So make it like a community,
Yes.
involvement. The more hands-on. This is not about you. This is not about me. This is how can we get our entire community to work together as a team. The planning. So the planning for these type of events, it consists of a lot, but again, you're there as a facilitator. So having your students use Canva. I absolutely use Canva, and I'm sure many teachers know about the power of Canva.
Of
But I have
course.
my students create flyers. Coming back over here. So right here, you'll see that they created tickets for the event, and they shared the link with me so that I can edit if it needed to be edited, along with the flyers. So it all coordinated together. So they created this flyer that went around teachers' classrooms and emails so that the community can know about the event. And they also created the agenda. And the agenda was just, everything that the program included and who we were thanking for their support, and also who were the co-coordinators. Again, this was not something that I do on my own. It takes a village to actually achieve, these type of memorable events.
Wow.
So let's see, on here, for planning, having a flyer posted around the school or by email to faculty and staff is helpful. Having an agenda list, we just made it a lot easier on ourselves, and we created a QR code. And so people took pictures of the agenda so that, they could just take a picture and be able to see the list of all the performing pieces that day. So the decor has to be, ready to go to, setting rehearsal day and times. This may need approval from your campus, depending, every campus does things differently. Tickets, if a charge is included, and doing daily announcements at school so that students can hear these, events taking place and given the
Yeah.
information.
Great.
Everything else,
Love
yeah.
it.
So these are the flyer agenda and tickets that I was just mentioning. So this is all created by my students. Again, you're there to just check it, make sure everything looks good. But I was so proud of my kids, representing all of Latino America, España on here, the Caribbean, and they did a really good job this year in, putting this together.
There's a comment from Anil: Canva, good tool for making anything. That's true. So your students, is that they're like collaborating in the same doc, or everyone does it like separately, or they like?
So that's a great question. My club officers, they actually create it on their own first, and then they share the link with me. And then from there, I can edit if anything needs to be edited. So, giving them the opportunity to make sure that, they feel empowered
Access? Yeah.
by doing these type of tasks. It gives, it just makes things a lot easier for everybody. So I always tell them, just include me once you're done so that I can just check it, make sure that everything looks good, and then it's approved.
Yay. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. And so some things to consider before and after an event, making sure that you have a rehearsal. It's important maybe the day before, just to make sure everybody feels ready and prepared on stage and on wherever it is that the program is taking place. Having a playlist ready is very useful. That way there's no rushing and trying to figure out who's going to go next and the songs, how do they go. Having a technology checkup. So our theater department does a really good job about mic checking, and the lights, everything that has to do with the technology part, along with an MC check, making sure that the students that are going to be out there and bringing everybody in are prepared with maybe index cards, or just feel like, okay, I'm ready to introduce all of these different people on stage, and knowing
Yeah.
what to say. The decor is ready, the slide presentation. We had a slide presentation that visitors were able to see, that again, my students created actually, and they represented each Spanish speaking country with like different pictures. And again, I see another mistake here. I'm so sorry.
No
But
worries.
let's see, having maybe a director would be helpful the day of the show, because then you can direct that person to tell everybody who goes next, and keep
Yeah.
everything nice and organized.
Organize. Yeah.
Making
True.
sure you have a cleanup, crew at the end of the show is equally as important. Our school has a lot of performances, so we want to make sure that everything is left nice and tidy after the big show. And then also at the end, making sure that you reach out to faculty, staff, the community, thanking them for their support and their
Mm.
help. And so, we do that in a PA announcement, and also by email. One important thing, which is the last thing I have here, is feedback and reflection, not only from your club members that were involved, but from your students if they were involved. Getting any type of feedback is always important, to just feeling
Yes.
like, okay, what can we improve on the next year? What happened? What was the good stuff that happened? But what are the things that, sort of like a glow and grow kind of reflection.
So true.
One of the last things I'm going to mention here are other ideas. So when we spotlight, in on stage, for example, we want to make sure if we're a language teacher, we spotlight culture. If we want to invite guest speakers, go out to your community. Some parents are willing to come and, talk to students, and at community events as well. Maybe considering food. Yesterday, I went to a Diwali function at my school. Yes, at my school, and they had food to sell after the show, and that was pretty neat. We didn't have food this time around to sell, because it was just we had a lot going on in our plates. But food is something that brings everybody together, right?
Yes. Yes.
um,
So true.
and a lot of parents will you'll be surprised if you reach out to different community restaurants, or you reach out a pastry place. A lot of times they'll donate these treats.
Really? That
Yeah,
this works.
yeah. You just have to go out there and reach out to different places, and
Wow.
a lot of time, they're tax. They're trying to also help their business out with promoting, right, their business at a school event. So we've had in the past people donate items to sell, so that we can fundraise as well.
Like for
Um,
free, right? Is it
for
correct?
free. Yeah, but we actually right now we have someone called Maria's Natural Yogurt, who became our sponsor this year. So we had an event at a tailgating football game, and they came with their ice cream and their fruits, and they told us, hey, why don't you sell our things, and this is a way that we're going to donate for your club. So that was
Wow.
pretty neat. Have a fashion show, have, spotlight languages, spotlight holidays, spotlight flags, music, dance. There's so many things. Maybe you have a diverse faculty and staff, and you want to do like mini kind of interviews for these faculty and staff that work at your school, or anyone that would be willing to talk a little bit about their culture, and then maybe put it on this big screen right at the event, and it could be like a
Yeah.
little interview.
This is
Um,
really good idea. This is the comment from Olga. Yes, cool idea. And cool ideas
yeah,
actually, because there is the list.
yeah, and then
Nice.
also the ideas for other events. I mean, as a language teacher, there's so many other events. You could do talent shows; those are always fun.
Yes.
I've never done one, I have to say. I've done all of these three, but the talent show, I've seen other coworkers do it, and it is always a fun event. So these events are all about highlighting and or celebrating the diversity and vibrancy of your campus community. I do talk a little bit more in depth I just presented at the World Language Teacher Summit. And so the World Language
Yes, I
Teacher
wanted to
Summit,
highlight that. I totally forgot. Yes, you
yeah,
did.
I included this. I actually talk about subcommittees. It's very similar. It's more in depth, and I include more resources on here. But this is a great way to just get a little bit more. Like maybe you don't want to be tied to a club, but
Yeah,
you want to create a some type of event at school. You could create subcommittees where you just focus on that, and then you're done at the end. You don't have to commit to a full year with a club. You just create a committee that you can be part of for that limited amount of time, and then
yeah.
that's it. So I talk more about that in the World Language Teacher Summit presentation, and I highly encourage anyone who wants to be wants to listen to it or see all these resources. Join if you want. I'm including the link here in the Canvas PDF.
So
If you, huh?
yeah, so sorry, Esther, for the interaction, but we are going to add the link, the PDF actually, to the Wakelet Resource Collection in a very short time period. So stay tuned, and we are sharing with like Wakelet Resource Collection as well in just a few minutes. I'm done.
Okay, yes, yes. I will be definitely adding this to your wherever you're going to place it. I'm excited to be able to share this information. And then if you want to get in contact with me, you can email me, ask me questions about anything that you may have about what I just mentioned. You can follow me on Instagram if you like. You're welcome there. And then also I have a newsletter where I'm not doing really good on. I have to be honest. I'm not doing really good on my blog. Like I've wanted to get back on there, but I do have some resources there and on TPT, but I also share a lot of freebies in my newsletter. So if you want to join, that link is going to be attached here where it says newsletter.
Esther has incredible website where even about section inspires me so much. There's classroom diary, resources, great resources and ideas. Thank you so much, Esther, for sharing this like with the world. Actually, it's beautiful. I'm sharing with the Wakelet Resource Collection link so you can find it and hopefully it works. Because today is like it's a bit messy, but it's okay. Things happen. Esther, you just made our learning happen. You shared with so many incredible ideas, and I love them all. I just want to grab the screenshot, but I'm hosting things, but I'm going to grab these highlights. These are the highlights of mine. So many incredible ideas, and since I was running the club, I understand how it's impactful to students, to teachers, and yes, thank you so much for sharing. And from Olga, yeah, thank you so much, Esther. It was
My pleasure.
fantastic. It was fantastic. Again, sorry everyone for the delay. My bad. So sorry, but life thing can be tricky sometimes. Anyway,
Yeah.
my favorite ideas is about fashion. Like I've seen once that a teacher they made a fashion from the like it was connected to the recycling, plastic, no plastic hashtag. This, and it was made from the clothes that's like I forgot the full name of this beautiful project. Super impactful. Again, have you heard about this? Um
Is it the duct tape challenge? It's like there is actually what inspired me to have my students create the recycling kind of idea of creating an
yes.
outfit out of recycling things. It was inspired by a duct tape challenge. I can't remember. It's the company called Duct Tape, and they have students or people out in high schools turn in pictures of things they've created with duct tape. And I actually was
Oh my.
inspired by that. There was like a beautiful quinceañera kind of mariachi quinceañera dress
Oh
made out
my.
of duct tape. I wish I could find it right now, but it'd probably take me some time to look for it. But it was just amazing. And I said, you know what, this would be really creative for my students to embark on. So I started doing that like maybe 3 years ago when the pandemic was coming back to, I guess we were going back to school, like the students came back to school, and that's the year that I have my students work on that.
And I truly love this advice from you. Like, teachers, stop doing things on your own. So please think about the support. Grab this support. You know, you need to learn where to find the support, and that you can get this donation from, you know, the food stores. This is like, wow,
Yes, a
something
donate.
big.
So don't, I mean, I had, sometimes, we are trying to like work everything on our own, like, oh, I need to have,
Yeah.
I need to make the food. But no, don't do that. Reach out to the parents to help out. If you're going to do food, reach out to
Yes.
parents. They'll be more than happy to maybe you can give, if you've charged for the event, you're like, okay, you'll get 2 free tickets if you bring a meal, or even like at my
Yes.
event, students, children 13 and under are free, and faculty and staff are free, and that's a way to bring more people to come to the
Mm-hmm.
event. But yeah, I mean, you don't have to do this alone. I work with 8 or 7 other incredible Spanish teachers, and a lot of them would stay after school. Like, we would rotate the days that we would stay after school, so that someone could always be there after school practices. So again, reaching out to the community, and just asking if anyone would be willing to sponsor your club. You'll be surprised how many people are out there that are willing to want to do this.
Wow, this is incredible advice. This is like, all of these ideas. I want to get my club back, you know, after
Oh,
watching you, after listening to you. Incredible, Sarah. Thank you so much. Again, please don't leave this room. We're grabbing another selfie. Thanks, everyone, who joined us.
thank you so
And
much.
it was so inspiring. I can't wait, you know, to share more with this beautiful presentation of yours to the with the world, actually, because teachers need to know this advice from you. I didn't know that.
Thank
And about the
oh,
parents, I remember that one of our parents brought cutlets. You know, we had Skype-a-thon for 3 days, and children, they were so busy and, you know, hungry, starving sometimes. And parents, they were so caring. So, yeah, take this support from others, parents, communities, and find your mentors. Beautiful, beautiful advice. Thank you. Muchísimas gracias. Tú eres
mil
muy
gracias a
inspirada,
ti, Ann.
Esther. Mil gracias de mi corazón. So,
Muchas gracias a ti.
yeah, bye everyone. Stay tuned and see you in next upcoming videos. Muchísimas gracias, Esther.
Ay, no,
Yeah.
thank you. Muchas gracias.